We are staying at Disney's Pop Century Resort and just want to give you a little tour around. We're going to take around and check out the resort. So just to get our bearings, we are staying in room 4134, which is in building number 4 of the 60s section. So Pop Century is themed like the decades, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. So we're in the 60s section on the first floor. So we're going to walk around. Right immediately next to us, as you can guess, is the 50s section. Each building has larger than life icons. So the 50s in front of us has the bowling pin. Ours is a giant yo-yo, which once we get back some, you'll be able to maybe see. Now, several of these rooms have been refurbished. Ours is a refurbished room. So it has one queen size bed as well as a queen size Murphy bed. So during the day it can be pushed up to the wall, so it actually exposes a kitchen table and chair. And during the night you can fold it down and it becomes a bed to sleep on. It does make the room cozy, so it doesn't give you a ton of room, but it is convenient to have those options. So now this section of the 50s buildings, and there's 3 buildings in a section, has a larger than life Lady and the Tramp, which is awesome. And this area is really fun. You've got 50s music playing. It has a bowling pin pool. So we'll walk by. Lynn and I actually just got out of the pool and it felt really, really good because it's super duper hot. So you do have the pool, and then you have restrooms as well as guest laundry service over across the way in the green building. And one thing about the pool area, so the chairs are all spaced out for social distance. While you're on the pool deck or in the pool, you do not have to wear a face mask. Once you leave the pool area, you do need a face mask on. It is required. The seats are all spaced out for social distancing. And once you're done with a seat, if you're seated at a table, you're going to push the chair forward, leaning against the table, so they know that it needs to be cleaned. If you're in a lounge chair, you're just going to push the back of the lounge chair all the way forward. So here's Lady. I love this area. I love Lady and the Tramp. It's so much fun. So this is the farthest side of this area of the resort, and we're going to walk up to the front and check it out. I'm really curious to check out the food court area, because the food court as well as other quick service restaurants on property are all mobile order. And I haven't tested out the food court yet here to see how exactly that's working. You know, you're used to kind of going in, grabbing what you want, ordering what you need, and paying for it and heading out. I don't know what it's going to be like. So we're going to check it out. We've just kind of done a little loop around the 50s buildings. As I said, we're staying in the 60s, which we're coming up to. You can see a huge green yo-yo in the distance. And I'll show you where our room is so you get a perspective. And basically we've done a giant circle. So it's been great. Well, honestly, the park openings have felt safe to us. If anyone's nervous about coming, honestly, you don't have to come. It's okay. It's okay to feel nervous. This is a crazy time we're in, but I don't feel less safe here than I do going to the market at home, honestly. And I actually feel a little bit more safe just because extra measures are in place to really try to keep everyone okay. You know, Disney's under a huge spotlight right now to make sure everything goes well. And from being here from the past few days, I'd say it's going well. So here's the 60s building with the green yo-yo. And you can't really see our building. The building is kind of like a T. And so we would be over to the far right, which is beyond those trees and the golf carts. And we made a big circle to get to where we are. So actually there's a map over here. So let's show you the map. Sorry, I hope I'm not making you dizzy with quick turns. So Lynn and I were in Animal Kingdom today, and I'm fortunate enough to say this is my second visit to Animal Kingdom. So here's the layout. And you can see the giant "You Are Here" star. We're coming up to Classic Hall, so you can see the inside of Classic Hall. We're going to go into Classic Hall and see what's going on in there. They are encouraging for you to do your online check-in through your My Disney Experience account, and then when you get here you can go through the process online, so you don't even have to come to the front desk. They do have the airline check-in here. I don't believe this service is working right now. They can't take your bags at this time, as far as I'm aware of. It is a fabulous service, so hopefully it will be able to come back in the not too distant future, because it was great. You could check in your bags up until noontime for your flight that day, and then you only have to worry about your carry-ons. So really awesome. All right, we're going to come up here. As we approach people, I am going to turn the camera away so we don't get people on camera that don't want to be. I think one nice thing about masks is it's really hard to tell who anybody is. One nice thing and not so nice thing. I hate that you can't like show expressions so much to people. I guess some of that might be good, but you have to really smile, so you can be smiling with your eyes so people can see that you want to see them. Here is the Hippy Dippy pool, and we have the Petals pool bar, so you can see that. And a Hippy Dippy pool is the main pool in the area. There will be all kinds of kids activities. So the bowling pin pool is a quieter pool. You're certainly welcome to use it, but they won't have scheduled activities here. And this was just done over. We stayed here back in January, and they were doing lots of work on this pool, so it was closed. So it's nice to see that the pool is open. And it's all fresh and new, so we'll give you a little peek around as best we can. Lots of health and safety signs. Big thing is they do ask you not to move any of the pool chairs, because they are social distanced and they want to keep you safe. So you pretty much can't go anywhere without seeing safety signs and reminders. In the parks, they do make announcements, reminders to wear your mask, wash your hands, social distance. There's signage everywhere. And here you can see, this is something you see all over property too, for any restaurant, whether it's quick service or table service. Place a mobile order, you scan in the QR code, and that brings you to the My Disney Experience page, so that way you can place your order. In order to mobile order, you do have to have a credit card on file in the account. So before you come, make sure you have a credit card in your account, and that way you can order food. Because most places, you don't have another option. We did eat at Pico's Bill's yesterday. We were in Magic Kingdom for opening day, and you did have to have a mobile order in order to dine there. You actually can't even enter the restaurant unless you've mobile ordered. And then you'll get a prompt to say that you're ready, and then you can go in the restaurant and get seated. So, but they have these fun displays on the wall to represent all the decades, because Pop does go through the 50s through the 90s. Little fun fact of trivia, at one point there was a plan to add in the earlier years, and so they did start construction on another building, but that project ended up getting abandoned, so they never continued it. But that building has turned out to be used somewhere else, and that was contributed to Art of Animation. So the Little Mermaid rooms in Art of Animation is the abandoned building from Pop Century that would have been the earlier decades prior to the 1950s. So some Disney ideas just get pushed to the back burner, and then they get repurposed for other things. My family has stayed here often. It's a fun resort and really cute theming. This was actually our first Disney resort that we ever stayed in. As you can see, there isn't a whole lot going on in the lobby right now. It's very quiet in here, which is so unusual. All right, let's check out the store. One of my favorite places. Disney buses are outside. You know what? I'll bring you outside just to show you the bus stops. Where you come in and you can see the buses are pulling up. We haven't tried the buses yet. We should give them a ride so we can show you. They are social distanced on the buses. You have seats, which will help you to pinpoint where you're sitting depending on the size of your party. And you're not allowed to stand on the buses anymore. So upside is you're not being crammed into the buses, but downside is if you're taking a bus, it's probably going to take you a little extra time. Health and safety notice. Make sure you're not experiencing any issues, any symptoms of COVID prior to coming in. There's sanitizing stations everywhere. I did see in the parks too, portable hand washing stations, and there are restrooms everywhere. So you definitely have opportunity to wash your hands. You expect to be wearing a traditional mask, whether it's a disposable mask or a handmade mask. Disney is selling tons of masks, and warning, they tend to be long lines for them. So they are very much in demand. Now, they aren't doing traditional pin trading because of social distancing, but there are many locations where you can see boards to trade pins. Not every store or restaurant has pin trading boards. I actually only saw one today in Animal Kingdom, and that was over by the popcorn cart in Africa, which is actually closed right now. And sorry, lost my train of thought. And they had a pin trading board there. The popcorn cart in Africa, if you're familiar with it, I am a big collector of popcorn buckets, was actually closed. Super sad. I'm zoning in on these shirts because these are actually new, and I'm pretty excited because I'm going to come back here and buy one because it's tough to find the in-between sizes in the parks. So that's an adult t-shirt. Here is the ladies shirt, which I really love. And then they have a kid shirt. Super cute, love the color. And looks like I have to come back here and shop tonight. Oh darn. Guess there are worse things in the world. All right, well, we won't make this all about shopping, so we're gonna show you some more. Now we're coming into the food court area, and let's see. So there's plenty of seating in here. Not too busy right now, which the parks are still open, so I would expect it not to be too crazy. So this is interesting. You don't see menus on the wall. Oh, there's one with menus. Can you see that? But otherwise, they don't have menus. The grab and go area is blocked off. So I'm anticipating there aren't grab and go options. They are still doing refill mugs from what I understand. In which case, there are cast members. Let's see if I can show you without getting too many people on the screen. Cast members that will hand you a paper cup with the beverage of your choice that you can use to fill your refill mug. So you can still purchase refill mugs, but it's not self-service per se. A cast member will help you with that. And it looks like meals, orders are being bagged into paper bags. It looks like they have a kids meal bag. You can get your own silverware. However, condiments have to be given to you. So let's see what they have over here. They might have a few things. Some of the soda machines are down. Oh, they do have some condiments. Oh, that's exciting. I know in other places, condiments are not self-serve. Basically, they're trying to keep you as safe as possible and with as little contact as possible to things. So, the Everything Pop Dining is open 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. 10 p.m. rather. Boy, 7 to 10, that would be early. All right, let's go outside and do a little more walking. And then we will show you the Skyliner. So we're gonna head over to the 70s area. It's starting to get cloudy. I think we might get a little rain today. If you're coming to visit Florida in the summer, be prepared for rain, because you will see some rain. Hopefully it will just kind of hit and run and you can continue to enjoy your day. It'll cool you off a little bit. This one's a fun area though, because you have the giant Mickey telephone. And I have to say, personally, this is something that's on my wish list. I need a Mickey telephone in my life. Not that I would ever probably use it, because who uses a corded phone anymore, but I need one. Super fun. It's very quiet. From when we checked in, the cast member did tell us that right now they're only using 4 of the buildings I'm not sure exactly which buildings those are, but they're certainly not anywhere near capacity, and only a fraction of the guests that would normally stay here are here right now. Let's walk back this way because this should be heading towards the 80s and the 90s. This is super cute. Look at this Pac-Man themed building. How much fun is that? And a giant Rubik's Cube. Love it. Luggage drop off. Let's go over this way because I know that's where the play area is. So here's the kids' playground, but it is closed off. So unfortunately the kids can't be in there. All right, let's go back to Pac-Man. So this is fun. All the buildings have different sayings relevant to that decade. There are elevators to the buildings. The buildings are all 4 floors high, sorry. And you have stairs if you're ambitious, or you can take elevators. So don't feel like you're going to be lugging all your luggage up 4 flights, because you don't have to unless you really want to. All right, we'll go this way. And here's all the Pac-Man. Love that. I do love the 80s because that's the one I remember more, fortunately. Oh, this is cute. We're coming up to Potato Heads. How fun is that? Who remembers when you had the potato head factories? You can go to Disney Springs and make your own potato head, and they'd have all the exclusive accessories. It was super fun. We still have them. That will lead to the 90s. I think afterwards, though, we're going to loop around. I want to show you the Skyliner and the bridge because Pop Century and Art of Animation are right next to each other. And look at the giant 8-track tapes. Okay, who is old like me that remembers 8-track tapes? I remember my father playing them all the time. There's the Potato Heads, so cute. And you can walk around here, and what's fun is they do all kinds of little trivia about the particular decade that you're walking through. So you'll see more when we walk the other way to head towards Hourglass Lake. But let's go check out the pool. Oh, this is fun. We've got Roger Rabbit. I still love that Roger Rabbit can be represented in Hollywood studios. You can't meet the character. Once upon a time you can meet Roger and Jessica Rabbit, but I don't think they've been out for a long time. You can still see characters while you're in the parks. So they're doing special things in the parks to be able to show you characters. However, there aren't meet and greets. So you cannot hug Mickey right now. And that is a bummer. But you can see him. So in Magic Kingdom, they're doing character cavalcades in which they have characters come out on float vehicles at non-posted times. So you never know when they're going to appear. But once you hear the music play, you pretty much know they're coming. All right, we're going to continue on. Here's the computer pool in the 80s. So these are buildings that are not being used right now. Giant Walkman. Who had a Walkman? I definitely had a Walkman. So funny. Kids won't even know what the heck a Walkman is. And there's Roger Rabbit. And now we're going to continue walking and go by the Skyliner. So we're leaving the 80s section, and 90s is further down. We just didn't walk to that area because these are buildings that are not being used, and they probably don't want people wandering through them. Not that we're going to do anything, but... So here's the 70s with the giant 8-tracks, and we're back to the Potato Heads. Giant Rubik's Cube. So much fun. And now we're coming up to Hourglass Lake. And this is the lake that separates Pop Century and Art of Animation. So as I mentioned, as you're walking by the decades, they do give you different bits of trivia in relation to that decade. So if you're jogging out for a walk, you can learn all about the area. I can't say I necessarily remember all exact dates, but last episode of MASH, I definitely remember that. Giant 8-track is awesome. So we're coming up to the Skyliner buildings. We're back to the 1960s. You can see all the fun decor. So there is a bridge that connects between Pop Century and Art of Animation, and you're certainly welcome to visit between the resorts. You are not allowed to pool hop. So you can't, Art of Animation guests aren't supposed to be using the Pop Century resort pools, and Pop Century guests are not supposed to be using the Art of Animation resort pools. But you can certainly go and hang out. I recommend checking out the food courts for each. Although right now I don't know what the menu is, and Art of Animation is not open yet, pretty sure. So you may not get to stay there for a little bit. I don't remember when it's opening. And now we're coming up to the Skyliner, and we've almost fully cycled to where our room is. You can see, so Art of Animation and Pop Century both share a Skyliner. So you can see here that the Skyliner, the Caribbean Beach is kind of the main hub for the Skyliner. So the Skyliner is kind of like a T. One side of the T comes to Pop and Art of Animation. The other side goes to Riviera Resort and on to Epcot. And then the bottom of the T from Caribbean Beach goes to Hollywood Studios. So those are your options. Let's see if we can go up here. Yes, the Skyliner is not operating right now. Here's the connecting bridge that goes from Pop Century to bring you right over to Art of Animation. So super simple, just a walk for a few minutes. And you can see the Skyliners running. And should you have a scooter or have a delay that you need a little extra time getting on the Skyliner, they do have accessible Skyliner vehicles that will actually come to a secondary track to allow you time to be able to get on board, and then that cab will rejoin the Skyliner line. So it's pretty cool how it works out, and it really is fluid. Like, you don't notice an interruption. They all just kind of filter in and zipper in like a zipper. I'm going to show you one other thing. Since I was talking about the signs and the trail, there is a running trail here. So you can feasibly go around. It's 1.3 miles to go around Hourglass Lake. And that gives you a pretty good snapshot as to what the whole property looks like. So we're here at the one side of the bridge, and for perspective, our room is right here, and we walk down to here, and now we've circled back. So you can see where we are. Let's walk over here. We can see the Skyliners a little bit more. It really is amazing. I was kind of nervous to ride them at first, but sorry, there's a little lizard and I wanted to share him because he's so cute. I love the lizards down here. Here you can see the Skyliner running. It is such a smooth, seamless ride. It's crazy how well it works. I call it kind of a takeoff and landing because that's kind of what it feels like. It can be a little bit like you hold your breath for a couple of seconds, but it's fine. It's safe. If it wasn't safe, Disney wouldn't do it. So you can see when the Skyliner vehicle first goes, it accelerates kind of quickly, and then it decelerates kind of quickly too. So it gives you that impression like, oop, are we gonna hit the cab in front of us? But no, you're not. The Skyliners are vented. I don't know if you can see kind of the flaps off the front and the back. So you do get air circulation as you're going. And I've been really curious to try this in the summer. I've ridden it several times. I've ridden on warm days. I've ridden it on cooler days, but not a summer day yet. So I've been completely reserving my opinion to be able to try it in the summer and see how that ventilation works, because it is not air conditioned, only ventilated. There are emergency kits on board. So should something happen and the vehicle stops, there are emergency kits to assist. And they do have the vehicles on property that if there was ever a need for an evacuation, they can safely evacuate anyone, whether it's over water or land. So you don't have to worry about that. And I just want to show you Art of Animation. I don't know if you can see off in the distance. Let's go over here, maybe it's a little easier to see. Are the Little Mermaid rooms, which again, that was going to be the rest of Pop Century. So it would have been a huge resort, but now it's more fun because it's two different resorts with different themes. All right, so we're going to walk over here, back by the Hippy Dippy pool, and head back to our room. So pretty easy to navigate and find your way around. Here we're going to come out again by the Hippy Dippy pool. So you can see it. Oh, another little lizard. A sweet lizard camera. And giant Play-Doh can. Super fun. I loved Play-Doh when I was little. My kids have always enjoyed it. And you know, fun thing is you can come and decorate your rooms. We've done it particularly when we've been here for holidays. When you have these outdoor windows, or you know, exposed windows where people can see them, you can put Christmas decorations up, Halloween decorations up, and it just makes it a little more fun. So it's a kids splash area. I don't know if that area is being used or not, but you can see that table has the chairs tipped forward, and that indicates someone used those chairs. So that table and chairs, those need to be cleaned now. So nice, easy method. And when we first went into the pool area, they told us right off. They asked if we had been to the pool, if we were familiar with the rules, and then they shared with us what we need to do. So here's the Hippy Dippy pool again. And you can see Classic Hall in the background. There's the Pedals pool bar. So we've made a giant circle. And the pools are open 11 to 9. So, see? One difference with the value resorts and a deluxe resort is that the values will not have a water slide, whereas the moderates and the deluxe resorts do have water slides. So just kind of that next level of water fun. But the values are still great. They're a lesser expensive option. And they work well. It's very convenient. I mean, the Pop Century being a value resort and on the Skyliner, can't really beat it. So let's see, we're gonna go this way and back to our room again. And here we go. One giant circle around property. All right, well, thanks for coming around with me and keeping me company. Hope you enjoyed Pop Century and come check it out sometime. Have a great day.